A plea from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. For the second time in a week, they needed your help to identify a child. Last night, this little boy was found and police wanted help to figure out who he was. And within a few hours, he was identified thanks a large part to social media. Joining us now is GIl Smith, our crime and safety analyst, to talk more about this. Good morning, Gil.
Good morning.
It's, you know, such a huge change in the way things used to be with social media. It's really helped progress these cases. We were speaking about earlier, you know, the time before we had social media. What would police do if there was a missing child like that, or a child that was just they stumbled upon?
Well, it depends on where the child was located or how the child was in police custody. They would try, if it was in a neighborhood, they would go door to door, just get as many police officers as possible, knocking on the door, trying to identify the child. Now with social media, there's so much they can do because this child was in police custody at about 6:15. Now the newscast on the weekend ends at 6:30, and that's pretty much the only newscast. So since they really couldn't use broadcast media, they put them on social media and just spread it out on the different social media sites. And after a while, people started calling in and providing information so they could identify the child. So social media has helped the Sheriff's Office in so many ways. Like they even have this 9 p.m. routine now, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office does on their website, reminding people every night at 9 p.m. they have a different little ad to remind people to lock their car doors, lock up their homes. Those type of things, just to put a reminder into the public, can be very helpful in law enforcement.
Social media playing a big role in helping this little boy become identified. What are some other ways, though, as a parent, to, I know it's difficult at that age, you know, that young toddler age, to have police kind of communicate, but are there wristbands, or what can parents do if their child does go missing? And again, we don't know the circumstances here. We don't know how police found this child, don't know how this child went missing, etc. So we're just kind of going off a generalization here, but what can parents do?
Well, before the child was located via social media, they may have been able to get fingerprints and footprints of the child. Now, when the child was born, if the hospital kept a database of fingerprints and footprints, then it could have been identified that way. I mean, if that wasn't done, regardless of the age of your child, it's good to go to one of the police substations, and they can do a fingerprint card and have that information on file in case the child is ever missing. They could at least have that if the child is to the point where they really can't speak or tell their parent's name or anything like that. So, you know, those type of things the Sheriff's Office has always been pushing, and that would be very helpful to law enforcement.
So if the child goes in and gets the thumbprint, does it stay in the database, or is it just like a little card that they have?
Now, a lot of that time it is transferred to the AFA system database. So then someone locates the child and they can get the print, and then they'd have immediate identification. They'd have a whole list of address, parent's name, just a lot of contact information they can get just from the fingerprint.
It's smart because, you know, children that age, I mean, look how precious he is. He had to have been kind of scared, you know, a little timid, and sometimes you're told, you know, don't speak to strangers, and kids that age might think police are included in that. So,
right.
You know, social media kind of really changing the way things are done, though.
It really did. Now they can do, what they'll probably do is take in more information. I'm sure it was more than just one person. I'm sure there may have been several people who called in. Now, it's not just with the identification, but sometimes these people may be able to provide information about the care of the child. Does the child have any type of medication? What type of illnesses may the child have? Also, police, I'm sure they checked them over thoroughly. They called in the Department of Children and Family Services, of course, and to also, like you were saying earlier, to communicate with the child, and also to determine if he had any bruises, injuries, did he need any medical care. That could also help determine if this may be a child abuse case or a child neglect case, but just seeing how, determine how healthy the child is.
Well, thank you, Gil. And, you know, for you all, it's a reminder. It's so important when you see us post something about a missing child, share it on social media, or a child that, you know, in this case was discovered by police, share that. We are going to post this interview online, news4jax.com, on the morning show page. Remember to share it with your friends. Thanks again, Gil.
Sure thing.